Okay, cool. Okay, so I'll just give you guys a little bit of an intro before I send the PDFs to you for further information. I think in reading fluency, what the approach that we follow is we first make our students very, very well versed with the sounds of each alphabet. So every alphabet has a sound, right? Like A ka sound is A, B sound is B. So we do that by doing drills with our students. So we help them internalize the sounds of each alphabet so that every time they look at the alphabet A, they know in their head that A is A. And whenever I see A in a word or A in a sentence, I have to say A. So then we do this through drills. So we have drills like, it's called the phonics drill. There are YouTube videos also about it. So there's like, it goes like A, B, K, D, A, G, H, I, J, K, all the way till Z. So every single alphabet has a sound, and this is done repeatedly over weeks and months and years, and then kids, like, it just fits in their head and they know exactly what word has what sound. Then the second one, another thing that we do as a drill is called sight word drills. So what this means is that there are a lot of weird words in English, right? English is a very complex language. So English has words which defy spelling rules, like the, the. If I keep the phonics in mind and I say that T ka sound is T, H ka sound is H, and E ka sound is A, then it should be pronounced as The, but it's called the. And this is something that our kids don't understand. They're like, Didi, ye kya hai? Now you teach us this, and then you say whatever. So kids just, it just like blows their mind. So these are those words. It's called sight words. These are words which appear very frequently in English, but they defy spelling rules. So iske liye bhi we do drills. So we have like 5-7 sight words we teach them every day. And what we do is we put, suppose this is my whiteboard. Right, like, yeah, this is my whiteboard. I'm putting down 5 to 10 sight words for them, and I'm saying that, okay, this is how you read it. So the, 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 and I'm then asking them to repeat. Then they are saying the, the. Then we're going to the next one, R, A-R-E-R. Then they are saying A-R-E-R-R. So that's how we make them familiar with weird words which are called sight words. And there are about 100 to 200 sight words that children need to know to access 50% of text in English. And once they know how to say those words, it just becomes very easy for them to read a sentence without stopping 5 times. Because imagine, like, if you are a child, if you're a young child trying to read a book on your own and you keep stopping after every 2 words, you will lose motivation, right? So this practice really helps students in being fluent. So sight words is also something that we do as a strategy. Then we teach them simple vocabulary, like vocabulary words like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like day words, color words, blue, red, yellow, green. Then days of the week, months of the year, January, February, like basic, very, very fundamental, basic stuff, which they absolutely need to know to sort of say, I mean, to sort of like start learning the English language. And even if like we think about our experience, like as children, when we were learning a new language, we would do this only. We would learn 1 to 10 in that language. We would learn days of the week in that language. We would learn how to say our name in that language. Simple stuff. So that's the same thing for English as well. So we do vocab drills also with them. What we then do is I can actually show you guys a primer. So we have a primer that we follow. It's basically a chart which has all the sounds that the children need to know in order to be fluent readers. And that chart is given in 1 page, and we do 1 or 2 sounds from that chart in every class. Okay, so I'll show you guys what that looks like. So this is the primer that I was talking about. It has all the sounds that the children need to master, right? So it starts with basic consonants like b, k, and b, bat, k, cat. Then it goes to slightly complex stuff like ch, sh, p, t. These sounds, right? And what we do is we teach them 1 or 2 sounds depending on the complexity of the sound in 1 class, right? And these are all the sounds that our children need to know in order to master reading fluency. Yeah, and over here, our approach is that we take, now I'm going to share how we do it, right? Like you saw the primer, you saw what it looks like. It is like a long list of a lot of sounds. What we do now is we take up one or two sounds in one class, we start by introducing the sound to the child. So we say that, okay, class, today our sound, the sound that we are focusing on is b and k. And today we are also practicing our vowels, because vowels is like the Barakhadi of English. Like we have Barakhadi in Hindi, like A, I, O, A, E, E. Similarly, we have, sorry, my Hindi is terrible. But similarly, we have vowels in English, which is the Barakhadi of English. So we really need to know our vowels in order to say any word, because there is no word possible which doesn't have a vowel. So vowels are the words that make sentences meaningful. So we will keep our vowels in mind. We'll keep our two sounds in mind. And this is what we're doing in today's class. Okay? And then you introduce the sound to them. You say that today's sound is B ka sound and C ka sound. B ka sound is B, C ka sound is K. Okay. After that, the first strategy that you teach them is how to blend to say a certain word. Now they see the word bat. Yeah. Hi Hamid, thank you for joining. We have we're 49 minutes past the session, but I'm recording it. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can catch up with your with the other volunteers. And yeah, cool. So then what we do next is there's a technique called blending. Blending basically means jodna or milana, right? So what that means is that I ask my kids to close their eyes and I give them three sounds. So b, actor. And then I show them how, as a learner, I would blend that to make a word. So I use my hand for this. So I say b, at, and I say bat. So that now the skill that I'm teaching them is how to take sounds and put them together. Okay. Similarly, I teach them one more technique, which is called segmenting, which means todna or break karna. So again, I ask them to close their eyes and I give them a word. So the word is suppose cat. And I ask them to tell me what sounds are there in the word cat. So then I again use my hand and I say cat. Cat may I can hear k, I can hear a, I can hear t. So k, a, t. These three sounds are the sounds that are there in the word cat. So that's blending and segmenting. This is helping the child in seeing how the sounds come together to make a word. So that's the skill that they're building here. Then comes decoding. Decoding and reading. Now, decoding and reading means that if I now I'm actually not asking them to close their eyes. Now I'm asking them to look at a word. Now they're not closing their eyes. They're looking at a word themselves. Suppose now the word is Batman. So now bat is being seen in the word, and now they have to use their it's called phonological awareness. You will learn it in the PDF that I'll share. It's called phonological awareness, which means that I know when I look at a word, when I look at an alphabet, I know what it sounds like in my head. Like I have that awareness. So I know it's B, so B is B. I know A, so A is A. So I'm looking at Batman and I'm reading it in my head. Actor, bat, man. So together it becomes Batman. So that's decoding. Looking at a word and then reading it by using your phonics knowledge. And lastly comes spelling. Spelling may I give them a word and they try to spell it on their own using their phonological awareness. So I say the word is cat rat, or like that's very weird. Rat bot, whatever. Any random word I'll give them, and they will use their phonological awareness to then say, okay, Didi saying rat bot, that's R, that's R, A, that's A, T is T, B is B, like this, and then they're trying to spell it on their own. So all of this, if you notice, is trying to build their awareness of phonics. It's trying to build their awareness of alphabets. It's trying to build their awareness of sounds, and it's helping them read through all of that knowledge that they have. So this is what an ideal reading fluency class looks like. You start with the introduction, you go to blending, you go to segmenting, you do decoding and reading, and then you go to spelling. That's it. And then your learning packet that you're making for the coming week can have small short sentences which have those words a lot, like which have a lot of those words. So suppose you taught them bat, cat, you taught them b and k, you give them 5 lines which has like as many B and C words you can think of in that, and then they're practicing that throughout the week. They're doing phonics throughout the week, they're doing sight words throughout the week, and they're reading throughout the week. So then when they meet you the next week, they have mastered those 2 sounds and you can move to the next 2 sounds. And that's how you could go ahead and cover all the sounds that they need to know. It gets complex, of course, when you teach them stuff like ch, sh, p, like they'll need to really like yeah, I mean, they'll need to focus there, but yeah, that's essentially how you empower a child to read on their own, by teaching them every single sound, by teaching them how to say, how to read, how to spell. Yeah, and this is what you're going to see in the PDFs also. PDF will offer a very in-depth look into what this looks like, how you can bring it to a classroom, how you can monitor progress, how you can even check for understanding ki samajh mein aaya ki samajh mein nahi aaya. So what are some strategies that you can use, what are yeah, basically everything that you need to know will be there in the PDF. But this is what an intro would look like if you guys were curious, like this is what it looks like. Yeah, and I think as right now where our kids are, we need to start with this first more than anything else. Yeah.
So basically it's all phonics, right? I mean,
Correct.
you need to understand phonics in, yeah.
Correct. And yeah, and I've given you a very like brief summary. Like I'm sure a lot of it was a lot to process. So don't worry, like you don't need to master it in one day. Like it takes time, but you get it. Like you get the hang of it for sure. Yeah. Anything that's not making sense? Do you think I mean, keep your kids in mind and think that whether this will help them or not, and tell me if this is making sense. Yeah, then great. Otherwise we'll talk more about it. Yes, Saras.
Yeah, like I have one doubt. The age group of the children are different, right? So
Correct.
yeah, so while teaching them, like for literacy, like no one knows that's the another thing. So we will make them sit together and do these things. But like as we like, you also have the students now who are a little back from the other students.
Correct.
Then how you can focus, like how you will focus on both of them, like yeah.
Great question, Saras, and I think there are 1 million answers to that question, right? And I explore the answer to it every day. Like I explore new ways to reach my kids every single day. But just know that my bandwidth as a fellow is way more than your bandwidth right now, because I spend every waking moment of my life with my kids. Like I'm with them all the time. Like I spend 12 to 14 hours with them every single day, and I still feel like there's more I can do, like. And I teach them, Rashmi, my co-fellow, she teaches them. Then we have 20 volunteers who give them feedback in the evening. Then we are teaching their mothers also. So then their mothers also sit with them and read. And we still feel like they need more. So I think considering your bandwidth, definitely first, what you can do is start with these reading fluency classes and very carefully observe who are the kids who actually know all of this and are feeling bored. Like in 1 or 2 sessions, you feel like these kids are like, Didi, kya padha rahe hain? I know all this. Like I know what sounds are. What is this? This is not for me. Then you could maybe think about grouping them. Once you have a little bit of an understanding of where your children are, you could then group them. So maybe you realize after your observations, you realize that there are 10 students who just can't read, who just don't know how to read. You will do phonics with them, what I just taught you. But there are some kids who can read, who are fluent with it, but they don't know what they're reading. Like they just don't understand it. They read everything. I am a, there is a lion is hunting. But what does it mean? What is a lion? What is hunting? I don't know. Then for them, you can put them in one group, and these are the groups with whom I need to practice comprehension, I need to practice understanding. And then yeah, maybe you could then first observe and then group them differently, right? And I will also try coming to the center sometime soon, and I can also observe them and sort of give you insights as to how you can group them. But definitely start with a universal thing and see how each child in your classroom is doing with it. See which ones are getting it, which ones are feeling lost, so you know how to group them a little bit. Yeah, and then come back to me with that information, and then I can help you with how you can support each group, right? Like I can tell you, okay, this group needs this group needs this, so that I can help you with for sure. But come in with that, with those observations, with that research, so that I can support you better. Yeah.
So the PDFs which, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the PDF which you're sharing are self-explanatory to us to understand. And
yeah, they're very.
Because the phonics is a little different. I mean, it's not regular because we are not introduced to phonics in our childhood days and all. So this is a new one which is adapted, right? I mean,
Yeah. No,
back
it's
is
very user friendly. Don't worry. Like, I mean, I also, I mean, I never taught before last year. I mean, I was a student myself. So it's very user friendly. It's very self-explanatory. And I'm here. If you want,
Yeah.
definitely we can do a Zoom call next week. Once you guys have taken a good 5-6 days to go over the resources and in depth, you can come in with more specific questions and I can hold space for you for sure, to help you understand some of the more complex stuff that you might not have understood. But in terms of like accessibility, the resources are like very good, and they're very easy to understand.
Okay.
Are there any more questions right now on anyone's mind? So let me know.
As you rightly said, we are short of bandwidth, right? I mean, during on the Sundays, that to couple of hours or 3 hours probably. So giving them notes and will it be productive? I mean, how to go forward? Because within 2 hours, how much we can teach? I mean, how
So you
how
have
can
to,
we make it more creative or like?
correct, you will have to really, Prachi, you will have to really divide and conquer. So it's like, if I'm asking all of you to read the resources for sure, but teaching will be done by maximum 1 or 2 people. Rest of you will be sitting with kids one-on-one, giving them feedback on their learning packets, checking it, giving them stars. You can have a whole system of rewards, right? If the second a child walks in, you check if they have completed it. If they have completed it, if they have, you're giving them a stamp. Maybe you could also give them responsibility. So if they are completing all their work, they get to do this particular thing at the center. So see what they like to do, see what kind of work excites them, and leverage that. Suppose in my class I have children who really like spending time with me. Like, they love talking to me during lunchtime. So I have made a reward, like whoever does the most amount of homework has lunch with me on Friday. So we sit and have
Wow.
right, and it's a reward, and I leverage that, right? And or like, there's a movie time with Didi also. Like, some kids who really like watching movies, or like there's a group in my class who loves to learn about space. So every Friday, if they do well, we watch videos of Sarojini Naidu and like International Space Station, or like we track like different things on the NASA website, and because that's what they like to do, and that's a reward in my class. So just leveraging what their interests are, and using that as a leverage to get them to work. So you figure out their interests and motivate them that way. So if you a learning packet might not be something they'll do independently, you incentivize that. You say that, okay, fine, if you come in with this complete, we'll do XYZ, depending on whatever they like to do. So half the volunteers are doing that, checking, giving feedback, giving stars, helping with rewards, and only 1 or 2 people are actually teaching.
Yes, this was really a good input. Related to volunteering, that we can divide it. We can do one thing: how many volunteers are entering, are helping us out. We can assign a child to him, and then accordingly we can work more product together as a team. Because
Correct.
now, yeah, this is really good input.
You could also have like a chart on your like on one of the walls, which has the names of every single child. Over there, every time they enter the classroom, they will mark on their own. They'll take a chalk and they'll put a tick mark. If so, suppose my name is Soham, I'm a student in your classroom, I enter on Sunday, I have to first, my job is that I'll take the chalk, I'll mark that I have completed my work, Didi, and then only I'll come and sit in the classroom, so that they know that it's a given. Like, if you want to sit in the classroom and learn, you need to come in with your work complete. And it's not something that they will just start doing from the very first day. You will have to have a session with them to first invest them in the idea of doing the work. Ask them questions like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do in your life? And why do you think we have set up this beautiful center with beautifully painted center? Why do you think we've done this for you? Ask them this question. They'll tell you, Didi, you've done this because you want us to be successful. Didi, you've done this because we want to change, whatever. They'll say many nice things, I'm sure. And then ask them that, what will it take for you to actually change yourself and your reality? And then sort of just help them arrive at the answer that, Didi, education will help me change that for myself. And then tell them that, okay, fine, since you said it yourself, here's what I'm going to do to make that happen for you. Right? Your schools have been shut for 2 years, but I believe in you as an adult, as someone who's your well-wisher. I believe in you, and I believe in what you can do. So here's something that I'm giving you. It's a learning packet. It's a very small thing that you can do towards your future, towards securing a future that you want. And if you really want to do all the beautiful things you talked about, you better come in with this complete every single week. that's how you sort of invest them in the whole idea. And we have countless conversations like this in our class. Like every single day I ask them, what do you want to become? And they're tired of telling me that, Didi, I want to be a scientist. I'm like, but scientists work hard, right? You have not completed your homework. How will you develop a vaccine for the next coronavirus if you don't complete your homework? So I mean, I have these conversations every day with my kids. They're sick of me, but that's how I motivate them. Yeah. So just don't ever think that they're kids, they'll not get it. They'll get it. They've seen more, they've seen the darker side of things more than we have, and they'll know. They know why you're here. Yeah.
It's really cool.
I think I've spoken a lot, but that's like, I mean, it's just one thing I love.
It was really helpful for us. Definitely it was helpful.
Yeah. So maybe just next Sunday when you go, just talk to them and ask them what they really want. And then share that, we've been speaking to different Didis and Bhaiyas from organizations, and we really want to make the most of the time of our time together. So how can we do that in partnership with you? So don't think that, okay, they are the like I am giving them an experience and they are just taking it. Think of them as producers of the experience with you. Like you both are coming together as partners and you are helping each other, right? It's not just that I am helping the child, I am the hero and I'm helping the child. That's not the mindset that we want to operate with, right? Like our kids are brilliant themselves and there's so much that they can also do. So just go in with that mindset, I would say, on Sunday, and just talk to them, have a 2-hour conversation with them. Ask every single one of them to share in whatever language they're comfortable in: English, Hindi, Marathi, Katkari.
It's Katkari.
Katkari, sorry. Yeah, whatever language they're comfortable in, ask them to share. What do they want to achieve in 10 years or 15 years, whatever. And then tell them that here's how you're going to achieve it.
One more thing I will ask you, like if we continuously doing this, for example, if we are not going on Sundays, okay, and we are going in whole week, right? And if we are continuously making them learn, like if we are starting with literature, yeah, and we are continuing that part, we are first finishing that literature part and then we are jumping to next subject, right? Yeah. But like if they get bored, okay, if they get bored, then you have any suggestions like what we can do, what are the activities or anything else we can do for them?
I mean, yeah, anything you can do, like that depends on their interests. If they're interested in craft, maybe you could have like an origami class with them. Like maybe you could tie that as a reward, right? Like since your kids need to know a lot, I mean, they're very behind, in terms of their current level, and they need to catch up on a lot of things. I would say make it a reward in your classroom. So if you see that the first 2 hours of class they're working extremely hard and doing everything, then maybe the next half hour could just be like a fun time. Like you can you can maybe, if you have a projector or a laptop, whatever, you could show them something, anything that they like to watch, or maybe you could just dance, because some kids love to dance also. And that's something that we can't do in our small center because we teach in a residential part of Govandi, and people will kill us if we dance there. So we do, like, we sit and dance. So we just do actions and we dance, and it's very cute. But I think you guys have like a 2-room, you have a big space. So you guys could even like come together and maybe like do a play or like, play a game, anything, basically whatever. In every class you could have that, instead of thinking of education as something that, arey yaar, I have to go and learn. Make it as fun as you can possibly do. Like you can turn phonics into song. You can teach the, like, one thing that I used to do in my class is for vowels. What we used to do is we used to sing this jingle, like vowels, where are you, A-E-I-O-U, and kids love saying that. Kids get so excited every time I say vowel, where are you, then they A-E-I-O-U. So my thing is that just you can be creative, and even while teaching them the boring phonics stuff, right? And you don't need to make them feel like, okay, Didi is going to teach us for 2 hours and then we will have fun time. They should think of it like, okay, we are having fun while learning, and then if we do well at the end of the class, we'll have a full-fledged fun time to reward ourselves with the, for the work that we've done.
Okay.
No worries. Any other questions, guys? Is it making sense? Are you feeling lost? How are you feeling? I think I've been talking a lot. Just want to know where each one of you is in terms of, yeah, how you're feeling.
हेलो, मेरी आवाज आ रही है? हाय गार्गी, मतलब यही मतलब काफी अच्छा लगा, आपने काफी कुछ बताया और शायद मेरे वॉलंटियर समझ रहे होंगे आप क्या कह रही हो और कैसे करना है। हम पहले करते थे मतलब वीकली संडे ट्यूसडे, बट अभी पिछले 2 हफ्ते से रेगुलर है। हाँ, कुछ वॉलंटियर्स नहीं आ रहे हैं बच्चों को पढ़ाने, बट मुझे जब भी टाइम मिलता है तो मैं जाता हूँ और बच्चे लोगों को होमवर्क देकर या कुछ देकर आ जाता हूँ। तो वो लोग कर रहे हैं, मतलब अभी भी मैं ऑफिस में हूँ, बट बच्चे क्लासरूम में बैठ के पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं। तो वो अब मैंने उन्हें 2 दिन पहले जो 10th 11th के बच्चे थे, प्राचीन टेबल्स उन्हें नहीं आते थे, मतलब 2 से 5 तक के भी टेबल्स नहीं आते थे। तो उन्हें मैंने ऐसे ही बहुत समझाया और उनके पेरेंट्स को जाके मिला। तो मैंने जो नंदिनी और आदिति, वो दोनों 7th और एक 8th क्लास में है, तो उनको आता था 20 तक टेबल्स। तो मैंने उन्हें वो 11th और 10th के बच्चों को सिखाने के लिए बोला, उन्हें समझाया कि मतलब सीखने से कुछ नहीं होता है, मतलब कई उम्र एज मायने नहीं रखती है, मतलब ज्ञान मायने रखता है कि आपको कितना आता है। आदित्य और नंदिनी को ज्यादा आता है, ये बढ़े ना कि आप। तो उन्होंने मतलब समझा इस चीज को, और नंदिनी ने और अदिति ने 2 दिन सिखाया उन 11th और 10th के बच्चों को। और मैंने उन्हें बोला था कि मुझे 2 दिन में मतलब 2 से 5 तक के टेबल्स याद होने चाहिए और मैं बीच में कहीं भी पूछूंगा, ठीक है। तो उन्हें मतलब याद भी हो गया। और मैंने आज दोपहर को कॉल करके पूछा था कि आप लोग आए कि नहीं, बोले हाँ क्लासरूम में ही बैठे। तो मैंने बोला फोन पे मुझे बोल के बताओ। ऐसे मैंने उनको बोला 4 का पहाड़ा बोलो, तो उन्होंने एक बच्चे ने मतलब बोल के दिखा, जो कि इसको 2 का भी नहीं आ रहा था। तो काफी अच्छा लगा मतलब सुन के। तो और अभी आपने जैसे इंग्लिश को मैं 2-3 बार आया वहां पर, मैंने आपका काम देखा कि आप किस तरीके से कैसे क्या करते हो। स्टार्टिंग में मैंने आपके बारे में इन सबको नहीं बताया, बट हाँ आपने बताया। गार्गी मतलब काफी अच्छा करती है। अभी थोड़ा फास्ट है और थोड़ा नहीं, बहुत ज्यादा फास्ट है। और जिस तरीके से अभी यहाँ पर बोल रही थी, इसी तरीके से बच्चों को भी सिखाती है। और बच्चे बहुत मतलब रिस्पॉन्स देते हैं इनकी किसी भी चीजों का। और ये जब भी बच्चों को होमवर्क देते हैं या कुछ, उन्हें तो एक स्टैम्प मारते हैं, सुपर हीरोज या रॉकेट है, ऐसा कुछ है, मतलब मैंने देखा है। और भी मतलब अब जब बहुत छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं, मतलब वो भी गोवंडी है, जैसे कि हम अभी स्लम के विलेज के बच्चे हैं, स्लम के बच्चे, इनको हम टारगेट करें। इसी तरह जो गोवंडी भी है, मतलब सिटी में तो आता है, बट वहाँ की भी स्थिति ऐसा अच्छी नहीं है, नॉर्मल नहीं है, बट उन्हें कोई अच्छा गाइड करने वाला है, मतलब समझने वाला है, सपोर्ट करने वाला है। और गार्गी मतलब कंटिन्यू मतलब मैं तो जितना जानता हूँ, ये लोग हमेशा दिन भर उन्हीं सब बच्चों के साथ ही लगे रहते हैं। मतलब बहुत ज्यादा केयर करते हैं, सोचते हैं उनके बारे में, प्लान करते हैं कि उन बच्चों को हम आगे कैसे लेके जाए। तो ये सारी चीजें हैं। तो मैं चाहूंगा कि मतलब गार्गी जिस तरीके से बच्चों को मतलब समझती है, अपनी जिम्मेदारी को समझती है कि मतलब मैं क्यों कर रही हूँ, किस लिए कर रही हूँ, ऐसा करूंगी तो क्या बेनिफिट होगा। और ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ बच्चे सीख रहे हैं, गार्गी सिखा रही। तो गार्गी ने भी इतने महीनों, इतने सालों में इसने भी बहुत कुछ सीखा है, इसके अंदर भी बहुत बदलाव आए हैं। तो मैं मतलब गार्गी जो कह रही है और इन्होंने जो बताया है, तो इन्होंने ऐसे नहीं, इनका एक्सपीरियंस काफी अच्छा है। और मैंने इन्हें देखा तो मतलब स्टार्टिंग में तो मैं अभी तक मेरी और इनकी पर्सनली बहुत रेयर बात थी, बट फोन पे एक बार बात हुई काफी टाइम तक। मैंने सब कुछ इनसे शेयर किया कि हमारी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, कैसे हम पढ़ाते हैं, क्या दिक्कतें हैं, और मैं आपको कांटेक्ट क्यों कर रहा हूँ और मुझे आपसे क्या हेल्प चाहिए। इन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है दीपक, हाँ मैं तुम्हारी हेल्प करूंगी। तो फाइनली आज हम जूम मीट पे हैं। और उम्मीद करूंगा कि 1-2 बार मतलब गार्गी आके हमारे सेंटर में विजिट करे, वो मतलब देखे समझे। क्योंकि अभी तो यहाँ इतने सारे वॉलंटियर ने ज्वाइन तो किया है, बट मतलब ना के बराबर, मतलब कोई बोल नहीं रहा है, कोई सवाल नहीं कर रहा है। इसलिए भी नहीं कर रहा क्योंकि रेगुलर कोई नहीं आता। सरस हो गई, प्राची जी हो गई, और प्रियंका है, ऐसे कई सारे वॉलंटियर जो आते हैं बीच बीच में जब भी इन्हें टाइम मिलता है, या कुछ लोग रेगुलर भी है। तो ये सवाल कर रहे हैं, बट बाकी के लोग इसलिए भी नहीं कर रहे क्योंकि वो मतलब बहुत रेयर, मतलब बहुत कम आते हैं। तो कोई बात नहीं। तो लेकिन ये जो चीज गार्गी कह रही है, बता रही है, सभी के लिए मतलब हेल्पफुल है। अभी नहीं तो आगे चल के मतलब हमारे भी बच्चे होंगे, उन्हें हम सिखा सकते हैं इस तरीके। ओके, तो तो मैं चाहूंगा गार्गी एक बार आप आओ और देखो, मतलब बच्चों को समझो, क्योंकि बहुत डिफरेंट है बच्चे। मतलब डिफरेंट मतलब मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि आप सोचो ना 10th 11 के बच्चे हैं, वो पास आउट हो गए हैं, बट उन्हें टेबल्स नहीं आते हैं, टू माइनस प्लस नहीं आता है ना, इतनी स्थिति खराब है। मतलब मैं जब उन्हें सिखाता हूँ, जब उन्हें नहीं आता तो मुझे पर्सनली बहुत बुरा लगता है कि ये कहाँ पर है। ऐसा इसलिए क्योंकि उन्हें कोई गाइड करने वाला नहीं मिला, कोई समझाने वाला नहीं मिला। शायद कोई पहले बहुत बहुत पहले मिला होता था, आज वो कुछ और रहता, बट फिर भी उन्हें हम सिखा रहे हैं, उनके लिए हम कुछ कर रहे हैं, तो उन्हें रियलाइज है कि क्यों कर रहे हैं, किस लिए कर रहे हैं, और वो करते भी हैं। तो अभी भी मतलब बहुत टाइम है, ज्यादा हम पीछे नहीं, मतलब अभी भी उनके ऊपर अच्छे से काम किया जाए तो वो बहुत अच्छा कर सकते हैं अपने लाइफ में, और उनकी लाइफ काफी बेहतर हो सकती है। तो प्लीज एक बार आप आओ, ठीक है? बाकी मैं देख लूंगा, बस आप आ जाओ। अभी मैं जा रहा हूँ, सेंटर ही जा रहा हूँ, बस 5 मिनट पहुंच जाऊंगा। ऑन द वे हूँ, रोड क्रॉस कर रहा हूँ। मैं आप लोग को सिर्फ दिखाता भी हूँ बच्चे किस तरीके से क्या कर रहे हैं अंदर। तो ये मतलब मैं खुद से नहीं, लाइक मैं जब 2-3 बार आया हूँ, मैंने खुद उसके 2-3 बार आया हूँ, और उसके बाद भी जब लॉकडाउन था, आप सब लोग घर थे, आप लोग नहीं जा सकते थे, बट हाँ, बच्चों के लिए आपका कम्युनिटी सेंटर ओपन था, और बच्चे समझ रहे कि हमारा घर है, हमारा स्कूल, और जिम्मेदारी के साथ वहाँ बैठ के पढ़ रहे हैं। कुछ चीजें मतलब यहाँ वहाँ नहीं कर रहे हैं, मतलब तो काफी अच्छा लगा था। तो मैंने भी वो चीज यहाँ पर अप्लाई की। मतलब मेरे कुछ वॉलंटियर ने मुझे कहा कि नहीं, ऐसे नहीं करना, ऐसे करेंगे तो लाइक कुछ नुकसान हो सकता है या कुछ, मतलब तो मैंने ट्रस्ट किया उन पर, देखते क्या होगा। तो मैंने उनको ऐसी चाबी दिया, और अभी वो मतलब 2 टाइम मैंने रखा, 11 to 2 बजे तक, और उसके बाद 4 से 6 बजे तक। तो बच्चे आ रहे हैं। आज 3-4 दिन से ऐसे ही चल रहा है बिना टीचर्स के। मुझे जब टाइम मिलता है तो मैं जाता हूँ, तो अच्छा लग रहा है लाइक। तो ठीक है, तो बस थोड़ा सा इसी तरह मेरे वॉलंटियर्स को गाइड करो, और अपना एक्सपीरियंस मैं कहूँगा, जितने भी लोग हैं अभी यहाँ पर, किसके भी मन में जो भी डाउट्स है या कुछ है, आप पूछो। मतलब नहीं आते हो कोई बात नहीं, एटलीस्ट अभी नहीं आते तो आगे तो आप आओगे ना, तो आपको समझने में, क्योंकि बहुत सारे वॉलंटियर्स आते हैं एवरी वीक या जब भी आते हैं, वो उन्हें मतलब मैंने देखा है, वो काफी बेहतर है, काफी अच्छे हैं, लेकिन उन्हें कैसे डील करना है, कैसे सिखाना है, या कुछ वॉलंटियर्स को मतलब जो बच्चों को सिखाना है वो भी उन्हें भी नहीं आता, मतलब भूल चुके हैं वो। तो लाइक एक बेसिक तो पता होना चाहिए हर किसी को, और ये चीज आना चाहिए हर किसी को। और सरस, प्राची जी, ये सब काफी एक्टिव है, मतलब बहुत सपोर्ट हेल्पफुल करते हैं, बाकी के भी वॉलंटियर्स अलग अलग चीजों में। बट स्टूडेंट को लेके मैं चाहता हूँ कि प्लीज थोड़ा, मतलब गार्गी बहुत बहुत बिजी पर्सन है वो।
गार्गी, did you get a
किसी का
chance
कोई
to see?
सवाल है?
आपने, या गार्गी, आपको चांस मिला क्या वो वीडियो देखने का हमारे सेंटर का?
मैंने, हाँ, आई हैव सीन अ वीडियो, व्हाटएवर
Yeah.
शायद मैंने जो मतलब जो वीडियोस और मतलब इंस्टाग्राम पे जो है वो देखा है, फोटोज भी।
अच्छा, ओके।
या बट आई हैवंट मेट द किड्स एंड आई वुड लव टू, लाइक मैं बहुत
या
एक्साइटेड। मैं इस संडे आने की कोशिश करती हूँ, शायद मुझे वैक्सीन लगेगा सेकंड डोज, तो अगर सो
अच्छा,
आफ्टर द वैक्सीन देन आई माइट नॉट, बट जरूर मुझे मतलब इफ नॉट दिस संडे देन नेक्स्ट संडे पक्का। बट मुझे आने का बहुत मन है, तो मैं डेफिनेटली टाइम निकाल के आऊंगी। जस्ट हैव टू फिगर आउट माय सेकंड डोज को, अगर इस वीक लग गया तो थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, अदरवाइज पक्का से।
I think Deepak is reaching the center, right? So he can help us out with the video.
हाँ, definitely right now तो right now तो I would love to see. I can stop recording actually because अभी तो all the instruction has been shared, so I'll just stop recording.